What's up everyone, Mr. Gizmo here. Happy New Year. So continuing on the subject of brake cooling, I thought that I would check out these bad boys. So these are off of a 997 Porsche GT3. They also have them in from 996 models. They're slightly a different shape or a little bit smaller, and I wanted to see if that would actually fit on the M3. These things are literally $5 per side, so this is the left side. So for $10 you could get some brake cooling ducts. Well, not ducts, I guess they're really deflectors. And so you can see there's a cutout right here. They're meant to go on the control arm. So the idea is that you mount them on the control arm, and so this bottom piece kind of sits underneath the car, and when the air hits it, it directs air toward the caliper and the rotor in that direction. So I thought I would try to fit it up here and see how it fit. The problem is that these are really made for the double wishbone suspension, not a strut suspension. So when I try to fit it up here on the M3 control arm, because the tie rod, steering tie rod, sits right in front of it, it actually will not fit here. And the other problem is that when it does route the air, as you can see, it would actually kind of route the air toward the outside of the inner ring. And that's not what you want to do. You want the cooling air to be coming in toward the middle of the rotor, and then basically work these vanes and channels to pump the air out equally to the inner and the outer rotor surface. Because when you're actually cooling the inner rotor surface, what happens is it goes through much larger stresses in terms of temperature differences, heating up and cooling down. And what that actually does is, you can't really see it, obviously while driving, but it does actually flex the disc slightly. And it would flex the inner surface more than the outer surface, because it would go through larger fluctuations of temperature. So anyway, I tried to fit this on. It will unfortunately not work with the M3. I also tried to do this on the in the rear. In the rear, I would do this on the camber arm, but then again, you would just be kind of diverting air toward the inner surface of the rotor, which I don't want to do. But these have been successfully fitted to Miatas, MR2s, I think some of the VWs. And some other guys are running them on tracks, and they've been really happy with it. But again, it's not really meant for an M3. Even if you cut it down and make it smaller, with the travel of the suspension here, with the tie rod sitting in the front here and the control arm, it would just kind of squish it and not work. So I tried, but unfortunately that's not going to work. So okay, tried this on the M3, no go. We'll try it on the S2K and see if that fits any better. There's a similar concept, but slightly different design, as you can see here, just to compare the two. So this one is from the Porsche GT3 models. This one is actually from an Audi TT some of the years, but anyway, so the idea is also that it kind of scoops air and routes it toward the rotor. You can see the profile is how much different. Comes with all the zip ties. You could maybe trim this if you wanted to. I tried to stuff it in here, so between the tie rod and the control arm, so it seems like this would actually fit. So to catch air, it actually has to be on the bottom of the control arm, because this is in full droop right now, so when the suspension compresses, that control arm is actually going to go up kind of into the body. But anyway, so in order for that to catch air, again, where this would actually divert the air to, as you can see, would be mostly toward the inner surface, the outer very edge of the rotor. So also not what I want to do. Okay, quick fitment and look at what it looks like on the S2K. So unfortunately, with the sway bar here and some of this other stuff, this is not fitting quite properly. You can see it's not diverting it, it's diverting air past the rotor. And that's the Porsche GT3 one. The VW one, or the Audi. Unfortunately, I also don't think that this would be doing what you wanted to, diverting air kind of in this direction, potentially past the rotor. So it doesn't look like these would fit on either of these two cars. I'll post up the part numbers in the video and in the description for those of you guys who want to take a look at these. Maybe one thing I forgot to mention, so the Porsche ones are, like I said, about $5 to $10 per side, one left, one right. The Audi/VW kit comes as a kit, left and right, and the kit is actually about $100, so it's quite substantial price difference. They're a little bit more compact, I guess you could say, in this direction. You could maybe cut some of the stuff out and reroute the zip ties if you want to, but anyway, if you want to try them out, go for it. Unfortunately, it won't work for my cars. Alright,